I'm just checking that we are live everywhere. Let me know if anybody can hear me. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. And almost Instagram. Yeah, I think Instagram is joining the party too now. Okie dokie. Hello, everybody. Super excited to be here. Let me just check that it's working properly. Yeah. All right, cool. We're here. So today I wanted to do a very special live, which is all about unity. And I've prepared a little thing that I wanted to show in here, which is also the title of this live, which is Unity in Our Quest to Be Understood. Let us not forget to be understanding. And so why do I want to make this video today? I think today is obviously a big day in the US for the elections, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. And a lot of things have also come on my radar with different questions that people have been asking me, or different things that people have had in conversation with me that I thought is extra important for a message like this to go out. And this is not just pertaining to US elections or wars that are going on or things that are happening around the world. This is very much relevant to all of us because we all have had it once, and probably more than once, that maybe we don't see eye to eye with someone 100%, or someone may have slightly different beliefs than we do, or they may do certain things in a different way, in a way that you wouldn't necessarily do them. But what I want to talk about within this video today is that we have a lot more in common with one another than we do not. Like literally, if you are to make a list, just grab a notebook and just write down all the things we have in common. And that's so important because it's easy to look at differences and to be divided, especially when there's a lot of things that can make us easily feel divided. I have these things too because we are, as humans, very easily to spot differences. We're very easily to see like, okay, this is slightly different than another thing, whether that is from the way how things look or the way how one thinks or behaves or anything of the sort. But there are a lot more similarities. Like one of the things that my parents have always taught me is that we are so much more similar. We all want love, we all want safety, we all want freedom, we all want our families to be good, our friends to be good. We all want to be able to make a living and to provide for those that we love and to make a difference. We all love to see people smile. And I know there's always these outskirts or exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, all of us humans and even all of us creatures, we want to live a good life. And so I know it can be easy sometimes to think like, okay, this is so different or this is, unacceptable. But I don't think that that's the reason why we're living here in this earth and why we're here having this human experience. Whatever your beliefs may be, whatever your faith may be, if you have faith or if you have other ideologies. But what I think, regardless of what you believe in and regardless of what I believe in, I think we have a unique opportunity to actually be an ambassador of love. And my dad has made many YouTube videos about this, about that we are all ambassadors of freedom, ambassadors of love, ambassadors of bringing togetherness rather than division. And even though you and me may have a different way how we observe and interpret life and our different lifestyles and our different thoughts and beliefs, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be kind to each other. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be supportive of each other. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't be setting a good example of what goodness is. Even if you feel like, okay, your side and my side were so different, well, at least be a good representation of your side. Allow people to see that your side is loving, kind, courageous, is a great leader. And you cannot be a great leader if you consistently only focus on the differences. And I'm not saying not to believe in what you believe in, because probably you have reasons to believe in what you believe in, and I have reasons to believe in what I believe in, and I believe in God. But that again doesn't mean that we haven't got a unique opportunity and a responsibility to bring goodness to this world. Because what are the choices? Imagine that you don't believe in what I believe in, and therefore I'm going to be unkind to you. What does that do to you? What does that do to me? It doesn't bring me any more points in my beliefs, definitely not. And if anything, if I come from a place of love, compassion, leadership that brings inspiration, that brings awareness, that um, brings and inspires to patience as well, then that actually is something extremely beautiful. And if you therefore are able to encourage someone to make their life more beautiful, isn't that the biggest purpose of life and the biggest purpose of doing what we do, rather than to say, no, you're different and therefore I'm going to lock off and therefore you're wrong and I'm right and I'm going to just shy away from you? I think actually the differences are also beautiful, as long as we don't hurt each other and as long as we don't do things that are fundamentally destructive to one another. Why can we not just respect each other, and more important than looking at just the differences, see all the stuff that we have in common? That's so much more important. And I know you might be thinking that there are certain situations where perhaps this type of message doesn't apply. Well, I'm not sure if I have all the answers. Well, no, I know I don't have all the answers, but I do think that regardless of, again, perhaps those outliers or situations where there might be a very valid point perhaps to not budge, um, I do think for the most part we have that opportunity. For the most part, we are able to look at things from a positive angle rather than a negative angle. And whatever may come from an election, or whatever may come from a war, or whatever may come from things that are being portrayed to us, whether it is from the media or social media or people around us, I think we have the answers in our heart. If we just do good and we try as much as possible to understand that on the other end, the other side, there's another human being that is also blessed to have life, and that's also looking, also searching, also doesn't have all the answers, just like you and I, then our kindness can go a long way. And we can be that ambassador of love. We can be that ambassador of whatever we believe in, and allow that to inspire more positivity and more goodness, more awareness, more togetherness. Because even if you look around me, you see all these different colors. Imagine that everything was the same color. You wouldn't even be able to see me. So there's beauty in the differences. There's beauty towards understanding someone else's point of view and perhaps learning something. And maybe in learning about what someone else believes, it enriches you even more. That perhaps makes you see things in the way that you haven't seen them before, because you have been in your lane for so long and I have been in my lane for so long. It maybe enriches us, or it maybe enriches us even more to appreciate the other side, but appreciate your side even more. And that's beautiful too. So the only thing that I'm wanting to say with this message is that if there are certain things going on in the world that are not necessarily in your viewpoint nice, in alignment with what you believe, or may even feel like the end of the world, don't ever lose hope. Don't ever lose your kindness. Don't ever lose anything that you wouldn't also like someone else to do to you, because that's another thing that a lot of people say, a lot of beliefs say, a lot of parties say, is that don't do to someone else what you wouldn't want someone else to do to you. And I think with that, I want to close this video just to say that, again, we are more similar than we are different. And if we can just be those ambassadors of love, and rather than looking at the differences, look at the things that we have in common and be nice and be kind and be understanding in our quest of being understood. I forgot who the quote is by, but it's a beautiful quote. then I think all of us will come a lot closer and the world will be much better off. And it takes our leadership, my leadership today, your leadership of whoever's watching this or will be watching the replay. What can we do today? And do that each day. And then I believe that we will all live a much happier life. And even if other people may not do the same because they're on their journey, then at least let it start with us. And then we do it, we inspire someone else, and that goodness has a ripple effect. And I can bet you your life, your outlook on life, no matter what happens, will be much more positive too. Because if anything, we know as the human race, we have been surviving for thousands of years. And I don't know exactly what is the truth in terms of history, but I do know that we have been here for a little while. And in the end, I think that all of us will know that we all have a lesson here. And I think this could be one of those lessons. At least it is for me, because I am also a fanatic. I'm a fan of Apple, for instance. And I talk about, yeah, no, I'm not a fan of Apple. I'm a fan of Steve Jobs. And I'm like, yeah, Apple phones are the bomb.com. They're awesome. But it doesn't mean that another person who has a different kind of phone, and I know this is a very small example, but it doesn't mean that the other phone isn't good. I'm just not aware. So Android users, teach me about it, and that's just, again, it's a tiny, tiny thing, but the same applies to what we hold as our beliefs, our values, our things. Like, don't be blindsided so much by something that is meant to be beautiful. When our beliefs are meant to be beautiful, don't allow us to become not beautiful people in fighting for whatever we believe is beautiful. Again, there are exceptions. Probably there are situations when you're like, hey, I cannot accept this. If someone comes running at me and kicks me in the or punches me in the face, yeah, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to stand up for myself and those that I love. But it doesn't mean that that's everything that is out there. There's a choice, and there's a choice of love. And that's the thing that I think is the most important thing to keep in mind. So that's the video for today. Unity, we are more similar than we are different. And in our quest to be understood, let's not forget to be understanding. And on that note, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I would love to know. And let's be that ambassador of love today and forevermore. And on that note, I'm going to